It's officially time to watch like 4 movies in a row. So I was thinking a lot about double features and like my dream double features. And obviously we all have the movies that we watch every single Halloween. Like mine are here. I have to watch Nightmare Before Christmas on Halloween night. That's like my Halloween tradition. And then I also have to watch Silence of the Lambs at some point during October. And I also really need to watch Coraline. Yeah, I was thinking about my favorite double features to watch in October. And so I put together a little list. I have 16 days of double features. I have to say though, I haven't watched the new VHS Beyond. So that might have made it in here maybe. I don't know. Anyway, these are my handpicked double features. They all have a different kind of random theme and they're all Halloween movies to me. They're not all like in the fall season, but I think that they're Halloween-y. There is one double feature that has nothing to do with Halloween and like I just put it in there because I literally could not stop myself from doing that. So there's that. And with these movies, I wanted to do one movie. The first one have a little bit of a slower pace, or like the more artsy one that's kind of like harder to stay attached to, if that makes sense. And then the second movie is kind of the more fast-paced, kind of newer one that has a more satisfying ending usually. So that's kind of how I did this. And I also literally have like 2 classics in here maybe. I didn't include the classics because you're probably gonna watch Halloween during Halloween. Like, I don't need to tell you to do that. Like, if that's what your prerogative is, you will do that. I'm not inventing Halloween. I'm just gonna tell you some double features I think would be really, really good. And I have done a lot of these. And these are also not in any particular order. Like, you can watch them on any day. They're just the order that I made them. So this is not in any kind of order. So my first double features theme is where do they get those jeans from? I put these 2 movies together because the outfits are really, really, really fire. And that's the best way to describe it. I don't know if you're like me, that's important to you when you're watching a movie sometimes, is like how fire are these outfits. My first movie is Texas Chainsaw, the original from 1974. And then my second one is House of the Devil by Ty West. And I have recommended this like so many times, but it's just really, really fucking chic. Like, the outfits are so good. And a lot of people that say it's slow, I think maybe just don't really like to notice stuff like that. And that's not a flaw or anything. It's just like I'm so engrossed by the outfit choices and like the aesthetics of this movie. Also, it's deliciously Halloween-y, House of the Devil. And I don't need to describe the plot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre to you. It's pretty much in the title, but House of the Devil is a classic 80s horror throwback, but it was shot in 2009, so it has like a better camera. Don't read anything, just go in blind. If you want a really cozy, atmospheric 80s Halloween horror movie, that is the one. My next category is Not My House, and this is a reference to when Jesse in Breaking Bad is saying not my house, because these 2 have nothing in common except for that they both have the word house in the title. I thought I would put these 2 together because I think it'd be really fun to pair this super classic horror that's really, really, really fun, and then pair it with House of Wax, which is like literally a crowd pleaser. Like, it's awesome. And I just think it'd be fun to watch back to back because one of them is so cheesy and one of them is cheesy for a 70s movie, and I just think they'd go well together. But I didn't know what to call this category other than Not My House. The best I can describe 1977 House is, I think it's a metaphor for one person's psyche completely breaking down into a million parts. It's really gory and it's really, really crazy. And House of Wax is your classic 2000s horror movie, but it has really great practical effects, and it's basically your classic, like, they stumble into a town and some fucked up shit's going on. The next theme is the least Halloween-y theme that I have on here. Sometimes You're Hunted by Somebody in a Crop Top. These are both like desert babes films. I just had to put this double feature on here because this would be legendary. First, I have Death Proof. This is from Quentin Tarantino. Famously, he says this is his worst movie, which is like makes me want to go out and like be really violent. But it's literally about a dude who has a car that is death proof, and his kink is running over ladies in his death-proof car. It's like he's a stuntman and this car is so he cannot die in it. Like no matter what he crashes into, it's like built to last. It's built for him to not die. Revenge is an SA revenge story, but it's written by the same and directed by the same person who did The Substance, and she's just really great. Like, it's a fantastic movie. I just think these two would go so well together because they're like desert babes, and it's like campy and gory and really, really fun. I think I'd have a headache after watching both of them, but it would be the best, and it would be worth it to me. Next category is These Are Not Your Friends, or Those Are Not Your Friends. These two movies are very much, those are not your friends. That is somebody pretending to be your friend, and that is a monster. I did the classic It Follows as the last movie, and the first movie is kind of slower, and it's more like indie, and it's kind of not, it's not as gory or anything as It Follows, but I think it's really worth it to watch. And I was on the edge of my seat even though basically nothing happens. Like, it's very psychological that way. It's They Look Like People from 2015, and it's different than It Follows. It's not much of like a horror movie in the way that there's like a monster kind of like in It Follows, but it's delusions. It's like psychological horror delusion, and it had me so fucking tense. I was so upset by the end, and it has an awesome ending. Next category I have to include, obviously, and this is kind of just covering my bases so nobody yells at me. This is The Television Is Evil for some reason. And I obviously have The Ring on here and Videodrome. And we don't need to talk about those because you know about those, but I just think that would be epic double feature. That's all I have to say. Like, I just think it'd be really, really awesome. I was gonna call this category Get Off That Damn Phone or something like that, but it didn't fit as good, but that'd be really funny. The TV is evil, except for when you're watching this video. I'm so excited for this category because I found an awesome movie. This one is literally Nobody Gets Me, and the first flick is I Am Not a Serial Killer from 2016. So underrated. It's literally about a freak. I can say that because I'm literally a freak, and he's really into serial killers, and he's really into like forensics and stuff, so the entire town blames him when a serial killer comes. Second one is obviously Jennifer's Body from 2009. You've seen Jennifer's Body, but if you don't watch Jennifer's Body during Halloween, like literally I'm going to come to your house. I like these two because it's like the male and female version of Nobody Gets Me, and like I know I'm alone in this godforsaken town. I was so surprised by I'm Not a Serial Killer. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. The thing is though, it is a really kind of indie, it's kind of slower, just as like all the first movies on these double features are. I think having two really fast-paced movies sometimes is a little bit too much, so I don't know. Next category, Get That Thing Away From Me, and this is really self-explanatory. I have Tusk first and Annihilation second. Tusk is about a man who gets turned into a walrus, and you know that already, but I just think it's really good double feature with Annihilation because it's both like these body horror creature features. I just think Annihilation is a better one to end it off with because the ending is kind of like really thought-provoking in a good way, and I liked the ending. It made me feel like good or something. That's so stupid of me, but I don't know. I think that's like a really good way to cleanse your soul after you watch Tusk. And if you're going to watch Tusk, you can't just watch Tusk and then go do something else. Like, you need to watch another movie. Because next category is We Might Not Get Tomorrow, Let's Do It Tonight. And this is a lyric. And these two movies are about being in an apocalyptic situation where you don't know what is happening in the world. And that's a unique thing. I think these are the only two movies I've ever seen that tackle this exact thing where somebody is not sure if they're going to die. And like, I really like both of them a lot. Miracle Mile is way more atmospheric, and Cloverfield Lane is way more plot driven and thriller like and a little bit more fast paced. I actually think it's really funny because my boyfriend was talking about how Cloverfield Lane is literally like Man or Bear the movie, and that's not a spoiler, but when you watch it you will know what he's talking about. And I was gonna steal that and say I said it, but I'm really nice and I'm giving him credits. For these two, it's best that you go in 100% as blind as possible. If you like apocalyptic stuff, just watch both. Just watch both and don't look anything up. My next category is That's Pooky, and it is because they feature very handsome male leads, and that's all they have in common. Underrated double feature. Donnie Darko and Get Out. And these don't need an introduction, they don't need a plot synopsis, but I like how they both have a final boy, kind of. And I really like how the soundtrack for both of these is really, really good. So that's something else they have in common. Okay, this is actually my favorite category because it is my 2 favorite movies of the whole thing for double feature purposes. And it's dudes being bros. I was trying to do an entendre of that meme where it's like, I can't remember if it's guys being dudes or something, but that's... So these 2, again, don't need an introduction. The Thing and Nope are both about aliens, and they're both about a group of guys. I know Keke Palmer is in Nope, but it's very like masculine. Like it's very much like they are, you know, they're cowboys. I just really thought these encapsulated that vibe. Like they're just guys trying to make it against an alien. And I love that. I think this would be so good for like the 30th of October. Like these 2 will not disappoint you. And they're also perfect party movies. Okay, the lights are staying on tonight. These 2 movies are ones that scare me so badly. I actually can't turn the lights off and I can't go to the bathroom by myself. I need someone to help me get into the hallway because I'm fucking scared. And you can call me like baby, I don't care. I'm scared of Skinnamarink and I'm scared of Oddity. Skinnamarink is a liminal space horror. It's the only of its kind, and I think it's a great double feature movie because it doesn't have that much of a pizzazz at the end, and I think Oddity does, so it's like great to follow it up with. But Skinnamarink is obviously liminal horror with children, which is so fucked up and scary, and then Oddity is a paranormal kind of like doll witchy movie about a giant doll. And I have never been so fucking disturbed in a horror movie setting than when I was watching both of these at the theater. It was too much. And I'm honestly scared to watch these 2 in my home because I think that would make it even worse somehow. I don't love paranormal movies, but these 2 are just so fucking good. And they're also really darkly lit, so they're really good for Halloween, but not good for parties. I don't think this is a good double feature for parties. This is good for when you're alone and you're watching a movie in the total dark. These next 2 are literally What Is Going On? And that's because they're basically... that's what you're going to ask yourself, what the fuck is going on? The first one is Mad God, and this one has no plot whatsoever, and it's a really nice appetizer to the next one that has a plot, but you still don't know what's going on. This is Existenz. Mad God is a stop motion animation film about human suffering, and it is fucked up. It made me almost throw up. Existenz is a 90s thriller horror about body horror and video games. And Existenz is so crazy. The universe is so insane. And I was getting really confused during the movie in the best way possible. You have to be in a really specific mood to watch these 2 back to back. But if you do and you enjoy it, you're literally so sick and twisted. Like literally. Next one is Oh God, My Wife. And I think this is funny because this is when like your wife gets fucked up. And there's also a Rat King in both of these movies. I have the newest Evil Dead, and then I have Color Out of Space. And Color Out of Space, I've talked about this before, but it's a Nick Cage movie with intense body horror, going blind. It's so phantasmagorical, it's insane. And then the newest Evil Dead, although I don't love the Evil Deads, I loved the gore in this one. I thought it was really interesting, and it was really fun to watch. And although she's not a wife, like she is a mother, and she does get fucked up. And these 2 have so much in common. I just had to put them together. Do not inject that green substance, you guys. I have Body Melt from 1993 and The Substance from the year of our Lord 2024. I have to recommend Body Melt because if you liked The Substance, Body Melt is like your course before you watch The Substance. Like it's like the prerequisite course. It's so fucking gross, and they have the exact same shit going on. And The Substance I've talked about, it is the scariest movie. I love it. I think it's so great. I fangirled when I got like a little Substance pen and stuff from Mubi, and I literally fangirled about it because I thought it was so cool. I'm so obsessed with that movie, but I think this double feature would be legendary. And you can also see how far we've come with practical effects. If you watch these two back to back, you could see like how movies build off each other. The next one is arguably not a good Halloween double feature, but I think in general it's good. I had to have a Revenge is Awesome and Cool double feature because that I think is my guilty pleasure favorite trope in horror movies. I have the very classic Mandy about Nicolas Cage going crazy because something really bad happens to him. And then I have Immaculate from 2024. I will stand by Immaculate till the day I die. I think it's so good. Also, unpopular opinion, I think the ending being so shocking is a big reason why it's so shitted on and farted on. I think people couldn't handle the ending. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't think we were ready as a society for that ending, but Mandy is very much atmospheric. Immaculate is beautifully shot, but it's way more fast paced, so you won't be bored, and it's not like two super long movies in a row. Like Immaculate's a bit more silly with it. Okay, next I have saucy, silly sci-fi, and this is sci-fi that's not that serious. Like sci-fi that has comedy elements to it. If that's not your thing, that's totally fine. Honestly, it's usually not my thing, but I loved these two films so much. I'm like, they would make an awesome double feature. And they're actually both on Netflix, which is kind of weird because I don't think Netflix makes that good of movies. I think Netflix fell off for sure. But They Cloned Tyrone from 2023 and It's What's Inside 2024. These two are relatively new, but they both are so fucking fresh and so new in like the sci-fi drama area. They Cloned Tyrone is like honestly one of the most impressive directorial debuts I've ever seen. Genuinely, I cannot believe how good it is for a debut. It's also just good in general. It has a lot more serious metaphors going on with it than the second movie, but I think it's just stylistically so gorgeous. It's a tad bit slower than the second movie, so I think it's a good first watch. But the second one, It's What's Inside, I didn't expect it to be good because I thought it was like another corny Netflix movie. It was so good. I really liked it. And if you don't like super serious, super gory horror movies, this is a great double feature. I was most impressed with the editing of It's What's Inside. Was something that was perfect for like brain rot audiences while not being corny, which is something that I think would be really, really hard to do. So that is 16 double features. In my opinion, movies that are really good together. But I didn't want to go into too much detail on the plots because I hate knowing what a movie's about. I just like to know that it's in my realm that I like. I will not read synopsises. I will ignore ads. I will just go straight into the movie always. That's what I always want to do. I also would love to know what your favorite double feature is for Halloween. I know there's so many good animated ones just for background, like that's the best. There's a lot of those that I did not even mention. Thanks for clicking on my video. I hope you enjoyed. In other news, I have filmed the next part of the iceberg. It's coming out. I've just been so fucking excited about Halloween doing activities. This is just the best damn time of the year. Genuinely, what other time of the year can I go into a pumpkin patch? Tell me. Now, tonight I'm actually going to watch the new VHS, so I'm excited about what I think about that. I'm a huge VHS fan, so we'll see. Okay, have a great night, and I hope you have a really, really good October season. I'm going to do some more fun October stuff. I just needed to get these out of my brain because I've been like thinking about them for so long. Also, I saw Body Melt, and I immediately was like, this needs to be in the double features video. I need to release it now. Like, I need you to see this movie. It's so fucked up and gross. Peace.